the article that I read was about the potential for relational frame ideas to improve upon the cognition of older adults. So the importance of this is that as an adult ages, they tend to lose their mental cognition. So it was demonstrated in much of the research that was laid out here that mental stimulation in the form of cognitive training is able to improve those mental capacities, their cognition. One way of doing this in this research, it was determined that potentially using relational frame theory ideas, then that can be improved upon even more. This is because the idea of flexibility and complexity in the relational frame theory, they line up a lot with the core functions, the core executive functions that we have. These include like thinking, problem-solving skills, revising skills, and planning skills, all of which they can align when you keep in mind the complexity and the flexibility of the behaviors that you're teaching, and teach them in that manner using relational frame theory. So in all, it is determined that this is a possibility, but future research needs to occur more. They need to look into this a little bit more to find out if this truly would improve the functionings of older adults, because as of right now, there is limited research. They cited like 2 specific studies that looked into the exact ideas that were laid out, but each were missing core features that were necessary to demonstrate this type of intervention. So there is a possibility that this could show improvements for adults and would be a proper intervention, but as of right now, it is not solidified as there is a lack of evidence. But for me, I thought all of like the research was fitting in that this idea it makes sense in my head, because adults do need these types of interventions, but I did find it surprising because I don't really think of this with adults. I tend to think of my work only with children at times, which is very limiting. But I do think from working with adults in the past that they can benefit from a lot of the different interventions that we utilize now with children. And so I could see this helping them in their everyday tasks. And I find that it's really important that we do look into this even further.